Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video here on Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3. We've touched on just about every single corner of what this game has to offer, but there's one area we have yet to look at, and that is the Danger Room that was added in the second DLC expansion for the Rise of the Phoenix DLC expansion. Now, this is one of the more interesting additions to the game, and as you saw there is the option for you to play online, locally, or offline just by yourself. There are 6 different levels of difficulty. There's the Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, and Omega difficulties. And today we're just looking at the casual introduction to the game mode so you can familiarize yourself with how the game mechanics works and what you can expect as the general format, though there are slight variations depending on the levels that you are interacting with. As you can see, before you start, you can cycle through the different levels comprised within the Danger Room and get a feel for what is going to be presented to you and what you will need to confront in the ensuing sections. So it's pretty similar to what we've already seen. The Danger Room is already introduced into the game in the main story quest, and here you'll see that we really just need to run through into areas where we can. And there will be a status progress bar up along the top of the screen that tells you how you're doing with the end objective. And then over to the right-hand side, you will see that there are periodically challenges that crop up that you will want to focus on and take on in order to either inflict a detrimental effect against your opponents or add to your own team a buff or other enhancement. As you saw there, the couple that have already happened have been throwing items as well as using or defeating a certain variety of enemy. Here it looks like we'll need to defeat or stagger down 2 enemies, which is interesting, and we actually didn't end up getting this one, so you'll see that I get affected with the inflicted damage defense reduction for my team down 3 stages, which was not super great, but it is what happens sometimes. We also kind of missed the objective there of dodging around a couple of different attacks, but I'm not super concerned because I'm very well ahead of the pace of my computerized opponent here. You'll see that we are down to the last 10%, and all we need to do at this stage is defeat the remaining enemies that are in this living room area, and that is made pretty easy just based off of the high-level team that I have at my disposal and am using currently. Teammates are still moving slow. That seems to be kind of a perpetual adjustment that's made, though it may wear off after a certain period of time, so just be cautious about that whenever you're suffering from a detriment or otherwise negative effect. After each section of the Danger Room, if you are victorious, you will be presented with a round bonus, which in this case, there's a couple of different items. Piercing damage boost isn't something that I was looking particularly close at. Neither was the critical hit increase, so increasing my extreme attack charge was going to be the best option for me. Each section has a momentary loading screen, but it goes by pretty quick. And here in round 2, you notice that we already have in the top right-hand corner an indication of what we're to expect here. And in this circumstance, it will be defeating all bosses, which will be Hulk, Iceman, and Daredevil. Of course, Hulk starts off here, and they generally have some sort of boost or other effects to them. As you see here, Hulk has the slowing aura active around him. And we were jumping around with Thanos Infinite there because we needed to make sure that we were getting up on the objective that was over on the right-hand side. The big difference here is that even though we have some mini-boss characters, their health bars are no longer displayed at the top of the screen due to the differences in how the this game mode mechanic works, because the upwards portion of the screen is being consumed by a different indicator. And just like that, we have Hulk taken down and removed from play. So we will need to move in and take on the next opponent here, which I detonated my extreme attacks probably a little prematurely, but it worked well enough for us because it'll allow us to take Iceman down in a very short amount of time. We've got to use some synergy attacks here in order to make sure that we are not going to be affected by that gravity globe, which it does appear that we were unable to meet that criteria beforehand. And at this stage we have Daredevil who spawned in, and he has that curse attribute to him. And as a refresher, what a curse attribute does is if you have prolonged exposure to the opponent, you will become infected, which will slowly drain your health over time, but it will also allow you to heal back a portion of the damage you deal on every attack back as direct health. We really just need to focus on Daredevil at this stage, so I don't really care about what else happens. And it can be a little bit scary because Daredevil is a very up-close brawler type character. But with these extreme attacks being detonated, he is completely taken out of the question, and that gets us out of this second section of the danger room, which will now bring us to that menu select screen where we will be able to select again another advantage. Ethereal damage is a pretty niche item, and increasing the HP orb rate drop doesn't really help me a whole lot because I already heal a decent amount with my abilities and extreme attacks anyway. So going to increase the overall extreme attack damage was the best option for me in that set of circumstances. And this will bring us into the final section of our danger room here, where we will need to defeat 200 enemies. This is going to be a cakewalk because this type of rift works very well with Thanos Infinite because of the gravity surge ability that he has, where he can pull all of the active opponents into the center, and then you can then better target them with abilities or synergy attacks from other members of your teams. And as you'll see, we are already soaring very far above the competition, even though it's just a computer. It'd be interesting to see how that pairs up with other personnel or other people. I don't have a whole lot of time to do that at this stage, but it would be something I would be interested in doing potentially in a live stream format. So if you are interested in seeing something like that in the future, let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to check out in the description of this video and every video of mine, I have a link to my Twitch channel so you can find me there as well. And I'd be more than happy to look into doing that at a future time. Probably closer to the end of the year, as I'm going to be very busy between now and then. But as you see here, we are just about done with taking out the 200 required enemies, and with a couple of final abilities here, we will supersede that threshold, and probably even do so with a couple of our extreme attacks if I can, but it wasn't necessary. And that's going to do it for today's video. So if you found this instructional, helpful, and or enjoyable, please feel free to hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe for more daily content as I bring videos to you every single day. We'll be back with another Minecraft episode tomorrow. And until then, thanks again for watching and have a great rest of your day.